Okay, there we go. I think there were 4 things that you seed for every day.
5.
Oh, okay. I missed one.
The first one is Christ consciousness, or God consciousness, whatever comes in after my SEs.
Okay.
The second one is magical spirits, surprises, miracles, and blessings. The third one is I seed for all my seeds, affirmations, living visions, ideal scenes, intentions, programmings, visualizations. Fourth one is I seed for, actually there's more than that, but 5 are definite. I seed for all the people, known and unknown people, all the people in my life and affecting my life, known and unknown, seen and unseen, past, present, and future. And then I add healing, loving, grace, joy, whatever qualities come forward in terms of that healing. And then the fifth one is all people and situations I say I'll seed for, I tell people I'll seed, and including all seeds that kind of come into my consciousness during the day. I phrase it differently every day. And then I put number 1 is always the truth coming out. And then grace, health, wealth, abundance, whatever comes forward. So the beginning of a couple of those is the same, and then the ending is whatever comes forward that day.
Fantastic.
And then always seed for my own health, safety, and protection. And then I seed for every cell, tissue, organ, system, chakra, marma, meridian, and meridian point being healthy, full of life and vitality and clearing, cleansing, whatever. I mean, I've got a lot of words that I use, and then I visualize all of that as it's happening. And then whatever comes forward, I often see I am a money magnet, I am a health magnet, I am a gratitude magnet, I am a safety magnet, I am a wellness magnet, blah, 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 blah.
Amazing. And I just love all of that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And how would you say, how would you say that works for you? I mean, I just love it. I love that.
Absolutely. That's why I am where I am. I have no question that it works absolutely exquisitely. And I know deep down that's part of what works for me. I do between 1 and 2 hours of SEs every morning. I read 12 discourses a month. I've been doing all that for 30 years. I often do, not every day, but every day I do movement and I do the Luxor. Yeah, it all works for me.
That's fantastic. I love it. I just love it. So my experience was having really high energy, and it's going out and it's sort of reaching out into the world.
Thank you. That's one of my goals and intentions, is just to be of service wherever God wants me. Another thing I often seed for. Where do you want me?
And so I loved you had the 2 pots. You had where you put your seeding in, and then every so often you count up what you've got there. Yes, I love those. So
yeah, this is separate. This is separate from my morning seeding. This is if I forget, or if I'm on a Zoom and someone says, oh, would you pray for me? I'm not sick. I'm not feeling well. I'll just go bloop and do it for them. Or if it's like, oops, I have to go out. I need to make sure I get a parking spot. Or, you know, oh man, I don't have time to get everything done. Time warps in my favor today, God, or whatever I forget.
Yes.
And then I use the affirmations that I sent. I thought it'll take me a minute to get them, and I don't have a whole lot of time. So
no,
yeah. Yeah, I use affirmations on abundance that my buddy Shelley Campbell sent me. Her book, Wealthy Spirit, is incredible. She's got the best affirmations.
Okay, I take that in then. So you just, when you're doing a seeding, you just literally pick up some, you have your morning seed. So that's a regular thing in the morning.
Those are in my calendars.
Okay.
What I do in the morning.
Okay.
And I've got a whole folder of them because I've been doing them for years.
Right. Oh my goodness. It's a whole creative enterprise you're doing seeding.
Yep.
I'm so glad I asked.
Yeah.
Is there any question I haven't asked that you would ask if you were me?
Well, I also do ideal scenes. I kind of brought my stuff here because I didn't know what you wanted. But I do my, like, a la USM, ideal scenes and my living visions for the way I want things. And I don't read them that often, but I just looking at this to me is wow, yeah, that's who I am. That's what I want. So, and I've got lots of them because I've done so much USM. To me, that's one of the bottom lines of my life is USM and their techniques.
I understand that. What's the difference between an ideal scene and a living vision?
An ideal scene is just writing it out so that it's this way. And a living vision, like this particular one, is my living vision, the way I live my life. It's a narrative, this or something better for the highest good of all concerned, which is also written on the ideal scenes from USM. It's already written.
Right.
I start off, I love my life. I just love getting up in the morning, knowing that this is another day that the Lord hath given me. So it's a narrative of what I visualize. I mean, this is visualization also, but it's just each spoke says something different that is part of the intention or the goal, depending on what I'm working with there. Yeah.
Love it. Okay. I think just what I'm working with is since Cynthia got lifted out,
right,
I'm taking a lot of negative energies from my experience. I'm noticing that the skin on my arms and legs is changing, is better since she's gone. Goodness knows what she was up to. But anyway, and it does feel like I'm clearing out things on a, so it's a kind of transformations taking place. It's on an emotional, unconscious level, things are shifting. And my task, I feel, is to really listen to where I'm being directed, because I think it's changed. I think I'm being changed into something useful. And my temptation is I've got to know what it is. And of course, that's not the way God works. I do know that. So, and it's been challenging because this last couple of weeks or so, the negative energy, that was past, has been coming up for the clearing. I mean, I just know it's purposeful. And so that's really, I think it's a lot of the things things you've been saying about that trust and I'm living my best life. I think that's kind of the thing I could be doing with seeding. Obviously, I'm asking about seeding because something in me says this is something I could be doing more of. And I think
so let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you seeded since the operation? And if so, what have you seeded for and how have you done it? Only if you feel clear to share that, but if not, it's fine.
I have seeded, but not in the how can I say, abundance of seeding you've talked about. I have seeded for various things, but not as fully. So I would say, on the one hand, yes, I've done seeding, but not to the degree that you talk about, that you describe.
Well, that's just me. So please don't compare yourself, because sometimes people will plant one seed and that works for them.
Sure.
You know, I just love seating, you know, other people don't want to take the time. It's like, okay, just to see. I mean, I've spoken with quite a few people about seating because it works for me. And those boxes are simple, it's quick. I
Yeah.
take time in the morning. Sometimes it takes me 15 or 20 minutes to do a little square in my calendar every morning.
Hmm.
And also some people think, oh, I have to seed $150. And it's not. I seed like 5 cents, 10 cents, you know, 1 cent, a quarter, whatever. So different people take different things. I love having the different possibilities. And the thing that what I hear from you, and is in terms of seating for where you're going, I hear that you're in transition of something, but you don't know what it is yet. So perhaps the seating might be for, well, a couple of things come to my mind. One is for, Lord, you know what's for the highest good for me to do or to experience or where to be. Often what I seed for is, Lord, show me who, what, when, where, how, and if important, why. And that comes almost every day because
Wow.
it's like, Lord, where do you want me? I have no bucket list. I don't have anything I have to do before I die. If I die tomorrow, I feel complete. I mean, not so much in my space here. I've got papers and stuff, but
Sure.
you know, I mean, I would love to go to Bulgaria for another Insight 4 to do the movement part. And if that doesn't happen, like last summer they had one and I just wasn't ready to travel. And I was fine with that. It's like, yeah, there's a little part of me. It's like, oh, that's my love. But it's like, yeah, if I never do that again, if, you know, it's like, I don't know what spirit has for me. And the things I love doing, spirit keeps giving me, like sharing with you. And I have no website and I've gotten like 6 new clients this last few months. You know, it's all word of mouth because I just trust spirit will bring it to me.
I love that. So what do people typically come to you for apart from seeding?
Movement.
Oh, okay. Okay, right.
And mentoring. My work is called Spirit Moving Body Mentoring. So, you know, people like working with me, like working on a book or working on whatever it is. Let's connect that with what's going on in your body. Or like, you know, you had the operation, people come to me, I'm going to be doing this. How can I work with you? How can you work with me to support me as I move forward? Preparing and then afterwards or whatever, or, you know, whatever's going on in someone's life. And I mean, I have some people who never move per se, but because of the kinds of training I've had, I'm able to see what's going on sometimes. And just one question will bring a person to a deeper level of awareness of their body, of what they're doing. It's just get up and let me teach you a dance. I don't do that. But, you know, if someone is coming to me like that, we might work with what's stuck there.
Yeah.
Or it's just, you know, I feel like a victim. Everything is going wrong. Well, let's talk about that and let's move the victim. And how would you want to move into it? I use all the skills I've learned in my 60 years of classes and trainings and whatever.
Right. And so one of the things I heard you talking about recently, I hope this isn't repeating something that you were sharing confidentially, or just,
It's okay.
I think it was actually one of our joyful transitions occasion. And you talked about having the leak in your apartment. And so how are you addressing that in relation to seeding, or how are you relating to it such that?
That's a great question. I also have several sheets like this. I call these my major seeds at the moment. And one of them, the first one is getting my roof fixed. So leak no more, everything sealed up and cleared. And then I have a little ideal scene on how I want that to be.
Okay.
So the way I'm dealing with that is this comes under the third thing I seed for every day. All my seeds,
Right.
affirmations, living visions, intentions. So I've got several different papers of let's see here, of where'd they go? Oh, here, like here's one. This one says seedings every day. And then completion and total home organization, completion of my living trust and all that's related, total health in every cell, tissue, organ system, chakra, marma, meridian point, and all known and unknown body parts and levels of consciousness, using all my skills, talents, blessings, gifts, energy, vitality, creativity, joy, education, wisdom, and beauty in my life and in my work and in my world and in the service that I do, et cetera, et cetera. There's a whole bunch of them.
Fantastic. Love that.
And another one that I did, seedings, this one's more a list.
Okay.
Health, wealth, happiness, clarity, focus, direction, complacent organization, full client load, abundant, all full paying, gratitude, harmony in my home, balanced endocrines, great poops, direct knowing, divine attunement, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
So those are all, I don't read them all every day.
Okay.
What I do read every day is I have a list of the affirmations of the Supreme from Discourse 96.
Yeah, I know those.
I read every day for the last 30 years. I have read, if I do nothing else but in affirmations, but that page, that's a given, because that covers everything.
Yes. Yeah, that's one of the pages of affirmations that I do in the morning. One thing you said to me, and I think it was after I was sharing about the learning that I had from the operation and going forward and everything. And you said, because I'd had that experience, I might have something to help other people with. And it sounded like when you're describing a word of mouth kind of process, it's like, it would be, I get not to do the website kind of business, but it's just like, it feels like more of a word of mouth kind of approach. Does that make sense?
It does, and I'm not clear what you mean by word of mouth.
Okay. Well, it comes from someone who's had an experience of working with me or a conversation, and then saying, hey, it's worth talking to Anne about this because she's had this experience, something along those lines. So that's how I see word of mouth. It's like someone has an experience of me and then they will refer me or recommend me to other people. Does that make sense?
It does. And are you saying you'll be going out talking to people, promoting yourself? Is that what I hear you saying? I'm unclear.
Yes, I'm not sure yet. I mean, that's one of the things I concede for clarity about it, because I am working on a book. And I think part of what I'm going to be doing with the book is some kind of speaking, because it's a lot about the human spirit. In fact, that's really the core about it. People awakening to the human spirit. And I think that's what I'm being called to do. But I concede for clarity about that.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's a specific seeding.
Yeah.
Clarity for the highest good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, any seeding I do, everything is this or something greater or better, more beautiful in the light for the highest good of all concerned. So anything that so that it's really, and even if it comes in, I'm still going to check it. So I can, because I don't know the ultimate thing that God might have for me. So I'm open to being shown something that is more than I've actually got in my imagination.
See, when I say word of mouth, when I say my work unfolds, or however, I don't remember what I said earlier, through word of, or in that meeting, through word of mouth, I mean not me going out and promoting, my clients promote me. And almost every client I've had ever, because I never had a website. I don't hand out flyers unless I'm doing a workshop. And even then, it's usually somebody else who's sponsoring me, and they do it. Even when I went to France under Insight, I had way more people than I could handle in groups, individuals. I didn't do a thing. So I just, for me, what works is trusting that, I mean, people have called me. I remember one lady said, she called me and said, I want to work with you. And I said, well, you know, let's talk. Do you know what I do? And she said, I don't care what you do. I watched my friend Madeline shift and grow. And this was a woman who had ritual abuse and, I mean, horrible stuff. And she just blossomed into an amazing person with her own work, etc. And so this other woman said, well, I watched what happened to Madeline. I want that. I said, great, come on in and let's start talking. And here's what I do. What is in your life? What are you looking for, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, I just trust, one, that spirit will take care of me with finances. I don't, and part of it, let me backtrack a little here, because JR told me 50 years ago in a light study, he said to me, my path is 268, cooperation, perfection, and success in the material world.
Right.
And he said, success in the material world doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be a multi-bazillionaire, but you will always be taken care of. And even when I didn't have money, I didn't know where I was going to live, I was always taken care of. And he said, when you cooperate perfectly, success comes right in. So for a long time, I thought, oh, I'll cooperate with you. What do you want? What do you want? Oh, you want me to be happy? You want me to do this? I'll cooperate. But it's not about that. It's cooperating with what I get inside.
Yes.
And inside is, you know, yeah, the human part of me, the jealous, the comparing, would love to have a website. But inside of me, it's just not me at this moment. If I get to do that, or someone comes along and says, I'd love to do a website for you, sure, you know, do it. But I don't have an attachment to any of that. You know, a year and a half ago, I thought I was going to move because there's no more, my second home is gone. And right now it's, nope, you stay here. And if it's to happen, it'll happen. It's like, okay, thank you, God. I'm grateful for what I have. Gratitude to me is a huge part of it.
Oh, I totally get that. And I also hear in gold letters, trust. My second insight to information, I should say, meant affirmation. I'm trusting my heart and I'm joyfully sharing my strength and wisdom with you. And I have always been taken care of. And part of the transition I'm going through is clearing up the doubts that I have to worry about money. And it's like, I've been in all kinds of situations and money's always shown up when I needed it. And it's like, not to feel I'm lacking and then I'm in panic, because the truth is, I have the same experience you're talking about. I've always been taken care of. And is that going to change? I don't think so, because I'm who I am, and I've got energy going out. Energy is going out in my all the time. So it's like, of course, Spirit's going to support me because I'm here and giving of what I am. So that I do hear that trust word, and that's really helpful to hear it, because it's like, no, hear it. I am hearing it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes, it is cool.
So it sounds like you're on track.
The truth is, I am on track. It's that I'm having a sea wave from the remnants of Cynthia coming up, and just, but I think, like, this is what I used to say with people, because I've assisted people through transitions. And typically at a transition, doubts can throw up, but the purpose of the doubt is it's one of just clarifying and affirming what you know deep down. It's a part of it's been my experience, but I've known with the people I've worked with, it's part of the process of moving forward into something new. Old things come out. So it's not that, you know, it's moving, and it's energy. I mean, doubt, fear, I don't have anger really, but doubt and fear, just energy to a new new situation, for moving into the what is new. So nothing's bad. It's all God, in
Sure.
my perspective.
Sure.
So
So
I think,
maybe part of what you're working with as you move into whatever the newness is for you
yes,
is patience and just being where you are in the present moment.
yeah,
Okay, now what do I do? What's here for me now, Spirit? Let me slow down and listen,
mm-hmm.
and then take action on whatever. And it may be, don't do anything. You need time to rest. I know that's been part of what I've been working with. It's like
Yeah.
there have been times I do my body balance nap,
Mhm.
and that can revive me in 20 minutes. And I get into my SE chair and I say, okay, God, take me out, clean me out, use me where you need to, clean me out again and put me back in with life and vitality. And I come back after 22 minutes and it's like, okay, what's next? So, and several times as I was doing the trusting, that Spirit was like guiding me just to rest and do nothing for quite a while. It's like I would do 3 body balance naps a day. It's like,
Wow.
okay, here we go again. And
Right.
thank God for Lee Stivers, my astrologer. He's a minister here, and he clarified that was before I even said anything, even in my chart. He said, this is a time of rest and going deeper within, because Spirit does have something for you. And I've known that there's something as I come out of it. So
you're still in the resting mode at the moment. I mean,
I am, and I'm feeling like I'm coming out and doing, I mean, it's rest, but I also am doing whatever Spirit says to do. And I do, a lot of Zooms. My prayer group is the #1 priority every day at 6. It's like I won't, well, I have missed it, like when I'm at USM,
sure.
but I won't miss it unless I really need to for whatever reason. Every now and then I'm working for someone out in the world and I'm not home yet, but basically that's Johnny's a priority. That's the end of my morning process. So, it's like, it's not just rest, it's more trusting, what do I need to do? And Lord, show me the vitality, the energy to do it if this is something I'm to do. Like when I get on, like now, there's no lack of energy. When I'm with my clients, oh my God, there's nothing else that exists.
Right.
If they're here in my space, that's all there is. It's not, oh, there's a pile there, there's a this, and what same thing on Zoom. When I'm with a client or usually in a Zoom group, it's like, okay, I'm here. This is my focus. This is my clarity.
Well,
And the energy is always there, always.
I had a conversation with, I have a vision education teacher. She's a real sweetheart. I haven't talked to her for ages, but I noticed my eyes were doing some funny things. And she just, I told her what was going on and stuff. And she just said, you probably just need to be and nurture yourself at the moment. Just really be kind and nurturing. And that's the thing I needed to hear. And what you're saying is that, yeah, you're hearing it again. And it's a trust.
Yeah.
Because I've had a sort of very doing mentality, not necessarily been actively doing, but my mind has gone busy, busy, busy. And I think, particularly because I'm in France and there's no community, there's no MSI community around me. I mean, thank God for Zoom and everything, because I can contact with people and be in contact. But I'm here because I'm holding energy, is what I'm getting. That's how come I be in France, and it's very lovely. Where I am, it's fantastic. But it's not my culture of origin, and I'm not complaining about it, but it's like I'm here on purpose.
Yeah.
And that's holding energy, and that's not doing anything. It's just being as fully as I can be with the spirit, so that I'm used, and often not consciously. A lot of times I think my energy is used and I'm not aware. Well, I'm aware my energy being used, but what's it for? I have no idea. And that's just as well, because I think if I knew, I'd be too fascinated, and my ego would get busy, and it's like, I'm not allowed to know. Well, that's just as well.
See, what I do with that, I just say several times a day, like I shared just a minute ago with Body Balance, Lord, use me, use my ministry. And that's what we pray for on the prayer groups. It's like we're two or more together, we're all ministers. And it's like, okay, Lord, we'll each do our prayer, and however you want to use the energy. And to me, I don't ever think, oh, God is telling me to use it. I don't know. I mean, and I don't care.
No, it doesn't matter.
Want to keep walking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it sounds like you're on track. And that reminded me that one of the other things I seed for most days is clarity, focus, and direction. So when I'm in a state like you're saying, you don't know quite what to do, and you're dealing with the Cynthia's going, but there's a reshuffling of your energy and your beingness and your direction. To me, clarity, focus, and direction for the highest good can cover it all. And I seed for that a lot, because even if I know what I'm doing during the day,
sure,
like, okay, Lord, what's your clarity, focus, and direction for me in this moment? And it comes through.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like today I'm busy from now with other people from now until after my prayer group. And it's like, oh, okay, that's what I'm doing today. For 3 days, I just spent the whole day clearing and organizing and cleaning out, throwing away. And it's like, oh, okay. And next week, I have a bunch of kids staying here for the Teen Insight. So preparing for that.
Right.
It's like, okay, what's the direction? How do I do it? Who's going to stay here? Where do I put people?
Mm-hmm. So what I'm hearing also is it's trust. There's a lot of listening.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of listening and attunement to what you're being given.
It is. And what's funny about the way my consciousness is, I don't stop and say, okay, I'm going to tune and listen. For me, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
It's like, oh, Anne wants to meet. Let's see, when can we meet? Oh, okay, we're meeting now. It's not like, okay, should I meet with Anne? Do I meet with Anne? Is this going to be good for me, good for her? What? It's like, okay, it's just a clarity, because that's part of what I've been seeding for in the moment. Okay, no, I can't do it that day, but I'm willing to do it this day. Oh, I have some time here. That works.
Okay.
To me, it's kind of a form of my own way of intuition, which isn't the way a lot of other people work.
Right.
For me, it's the title of my DSSPT, which I've never done, and I don't know if I'll ever do, but it's moving with the rhythm of spirit, living my life as a co-creative labyrinth. And it's like, okay, now you're with Anne. All right, now you need to do this. Now you need to go buy food. Now you need to, it's like, it's not, okay, Lord, now I have nothing to do. What do I do? Do I go buy food? It's like, it just, that's what I'm doing. And that's the way it works in my consciousness. So you need to take a look at how does it all work in your consciousness? See, and that's where seeding can come in very powerfully. It's like, okay, Lord, show me the way I do it. I mean, to me, that's a lot of what's come forward for me in the Transcendent Leadership class.
Really?
Particularly with my little circle, who I love. We've met every week for over 2 hours.
Wonderful.
And it's like, okay, seeing how I live my life my way. It's not the way other people live or choose to live, and that's fine. And it's taken me all these years to get to the place where I know, or I'm continually learning my way of living my life. And that doesn't mean that I won't shift and adapt. You know, if I come to stay with you for, 2 weeks, I'm going to adapt to what you need, but not to the extent I used to of, oh, I really want to do this, but Anne wants me to do that. I need to do that. It's like, no, can I share with you what's coming up in me? I'll talk about it. In the past, it would be, oh, put me aside and just do that. But so that's where authenticity has come forward of what's authentic for me, not anybody else.
Yeah, I totally resonate with that. And I'm not practicing it fully yet, but I certainly resonate with what things are sharp to do. So I do them. And it's not, it's much as you're saying. So I don't necessarily have a long-term plan about anything very much. But if it's the right thing to do, I just find myself doing it. It's not a thought process. It's just like, I didn't have any soup. I make up soup and then I have it in the evening for dinner, but I didn't have any soup today. And then I went out for a walk and okay, I'm going to buy a couple of vegetables for soup, which I did. And I came back and I halfway made the soup and then I realized I'm not ready to eat that now. So I had something totally different, but it was like, it's that just sort of flow of, this looks like this is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But again, it's the big word is trust, because I think I've been so inwardly driven in the past, and that's, I know, and what you're describing is like, yes, I know that happens to me, and I just find myself doing something because it's a thing to do at that time. And I think that's where I'm moving into with the trust. Cool. Yeah, it is really cool. I mean, it's just, then I'm not.
And I do need to leave in a couple of minutes.
Of course. Well, I just totally appreciate your time and your sharing. It's been fantastic. I have recorded it so I can listen through again. When the time shows up, I will listen to it again, I expect. But I probably got the essence of what I needed to hear anyway. But it's just like some of the specific things you've mentioned could well be useful to listen to again. But I really appreciate your time and your information and your sharing. And of course, your loving and your essence and your own awesomeness.
Thank you. I love getting to know you better after all these years. We're together, but we never connected. So this is just so delightful for me. Thank you.
For me too. And perhaps in a little, we'll see, but there may be something I want to just feed back to you based on this discussion. And I'll let you know if it's
absolutely
when there's a time, there will be a time.
Great.
As always.
And would you be willing to send me the recording? I would love to. That might be very helpful for me.
Oh, no, absolutely. Be delighted to. Yeah, I met a couple for a wedding yesterday. And I was, I interviewed them about so and so on. And so I did the recording with them. So they've got that to refer back to.
Oh, fabulous.
Which is great. And also with my vision education teacher yesterday as well, recorded that because she gets so many ideas. It's like, I don't want to write them down because it's like, that takes time. It's best to be present and then you can go over at a right moment. But yes, I'll put that in the mail as soon as it's come through.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you so much. All of God's blessings to you. I love you. God bless you.
Yeah.
Peace be still. And yes, if you can, I request a seed for my process.
Absolutely. I love seeding. So
I know you do, and I'm so grateful that you know.
Here's a seed for Anne's process, and I just.
And one thing I wrote down was your clarity, focus, and direction. That was that's one thing I wrote down.
That's very powerful.
Yeah, love it.
Okay, sweetheart.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
You too. See you in a bit.
Yeah. Bye.